The microwave is here.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome.
Hey. Hello.
Welcome to the K Huddle. So I'll do the setup, which is the fact that we're here every single Thursday, the only station in the United States that puts the entire cast together in one room, so this way we can kind of discuss. I mean, discuss, not discussed.
We hope not. I mean, sometimes it might happen.
But it really is cool because we are a family here at K92.3. So whenever you listen to this station, this frequency in Central Florida, 92.3, this is the entire family that you'll hear on the air, with the exception of Slater. Slater was unable to get out of a doctor's appointment.
Oh, you can see me back here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not gonna.
I'm right here. Hold on.
There you go. You're doing a great job, Alyssa. All right. So a couple things that we wanted to address. First of all, thank you guys for joining us. We wanted to address someone on the show is leaving.
Who?
It's
Me.
Slater. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm leaving. If you missed it, I announced it on Monday or Tuesday. I was out in Athens, Georgia a few weeks back. I'm taking off these earphones because I'm like getting echo in my own ears.
I don't know why you have those on.
Yeah.
Right here.
I was just trying to produce, okay? Like, make sure it sounded all right. So, yeah, I went out a couple weeks back. I was afforded the opportunity to go try out for a morning show, WNGC, Your Georgia Country in Athens, home of the Bulldogs. And I found out on Sunday, signed all the paperwork. I am officially official and start March 15th, which is so crazy because I don't think it's fully hit me yet. And I don't think it will until I'm in Athens, Georgia. And I'm like, okay, I'm not coming back to Florida.
Yeah.
I think we should play a game. Not that I want to put this on you, Chloe, but I'm going to.
Okay.
When Obi moved from his other station to this one, there was multiple times he said the wrong station as he's getting used to saying K92.3.
Oh, yeah.
How many times do you think you're going to open that mic and say K92.3?
Well, when I was actually up in Georgia, I was out there for the week on air with the gentleman Walker for the morning show. I said K92.3 once. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, guys. It's WNGC. It is not K92.3. That is in Orlando.
But they
So
probably,
it's happened to me already.
Yeah, they understand. Like you guys would understand if that happened, but it would be weird because you wouldn't know that other station.
Well, and also there's many times where I've said something and I didn't even catch myself until after I heard it back. I'm like, oh my God, I said the wrong thing.
Seriously.
So it's like you don't even notice when it comes out of your mouth until somebody either calls you out or you hear it back.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. Everyone that's
Good
come in, by
morning.
the way. Amber, it's your birthday.
Oh,
Yeah, happy birthday.
Woo!
Are you guys related?
No,
Oh, wow. She's the same last name as
Look at
you.
that.
there's a lot of Quinones out there, more than my maiden name, which is Stanley. So a lot more Quinones.
Nice. Well,
Good
and what's cool about
morning.
this stream that you can watch is this is also a podcast for those of you listening, wherever you're listening from. It is an absolute honor to be on the air here in Orlando. And for this station especially, we talk about how this station, this frequency, is a springboard for talent. We've had lots of talent come from this building, from this studio, with you as our supporters. And a lot of talent has really risen to the tops. I mean, we've got, Melissa's kicking butt here as one of the queens. Slater's kicking butt as one of the queens. I mean, kings.
Queens. Kings.
But, now with morning show producer Chloe, we're going to have to take that title away from her because she has now graduated to being a co-host. So it's a pretty big deal. We were talking about this morning how there's branding. Chloe, up here in the corner of this stream, like we have the Obie and Ashley logo. Every once in a while, we throw up the Obie and Ashley logo.
Yeah.
Well, there's now somebody working on a logo with her name. She'll have to find a place over there. She'll be top dog at this station as she climbs her way up to being that. Because your co-host, Walker, he's been there for...
Walker. Yeah, Walker's been with it's a country station for 15 years. And actually, it's funny because I was just talking to him yesterday again about figuring out a date and time to be able to go up there and take photos with him for like how you guys do, the Obie and Ashley show, figuring out a new logo, sending pictures of myself. And so it's crazy. It is a whirlwind, but I feel so blessed to be able to open this new chapter in my life.
I mean, we are excited. We were talking about this morning who we're going to put there.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the next step. If anybody has any ideas, any names you want to throw into the ring, we're all about it. And that's the other thing. We were having a conversation about producers in general and how producers normally, if you go into the TV world, producers are the ones running ish. Like they've got the experience. They kind of know it. Well, in radio, and at least how it's been here, like the producer, you know, it's the bottom of the totem pole where you're literally starting. You're
learning everything.
Yeah. So Chloe learned all that stuff. Obviously now is taking it elsewhere, but she's staying within the company, by the way, not just elsewhere.
Tracy said, me, like pick her to come produce the show.
Well, and this whole week I've just been kind of dropping it in Chloe's ear, you know, as for me. So I've been now with the company for 21 years, but in this studio for the past 4 years. And if somebody new were to come in with all these ideas, and you know what it is when you're comfortable and when you're set in your ways, Chloe's going to be going into a scenario like that where she's got a dude who's been there for 15 years. So Chloe will come in with her new ideas, and hopefully this guy will be open-minded. And if he's not, I've been kind of dropping this in Chloe's ear. If he's not, you just got to be okay with it and still work at it, but work at it with a nice tact. Yeah, a nice tact going at it, because it is hard to move somebody who's been doing the show for so long. But you're going to be such a, you know what? He's like a dude in a tuxedo missing the flower. And here goes Chloe, going to be the rose that completes the suit.
That's a good analogy.
We got to talk about what Michael and Tracy are both saying.
Because
I already called Chloe out for being a traitor. Here she is, this diehard Gators fan. This whole time she's here, her parents have season tickets. Her parents put her and her brother in seats as cardboard cutouts. And then she's wearing a Georgia jersey.
I was going to say, how much money did you drop on the jersey, the pillow, the blanket, like the flag that you posted?
Well, I actually ended up borrowing that from one of our coworkers. She went to UGA. And so I was like, I have nothing UGA, nothing Bulldogs, because diehard Gators fan, the Florida Georgia game. Like, I mean, it is Gators. We bleed orange and blue. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, can I borrow something? And when I put it on, I sent a picture to my brother who just graduated from UF. He sent me like the throwing up like emojis. He's like, I cannot believe you're doing that to me right now. Like, what a traitor.
So.
You did. You did.
I'm not diehard though. I literally stepped on campus for the first time the day I graduated. So I definitely am not a fan, but
well, when I was up there too, trying out, I said on air, I'm like, there's got to be a Florida fan out there. Like, there's one. I know I'm in Dog Nation, and like, it's a lifestyle up there. They bleed red and black, and I had some people call in that were Florida Gators fans, and they were not happy with me. They're like, Chloe, how dare you do that? Like, I'm sorry.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think people will be more they'll have more respect for you if you're true to your team.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I understand going to a market and wanting to please people and wanting to rub them the right way.
Yep. And could you imagine me going in there with a Gators shirt on or a Gators jersey when they play
Florida
Georgia?
Like you just said there are Gators fans that live there that are like, finally a piece of home that is
true.
here.
That's true.
Well, and I was going to say, the good thing about Georgia is that it's not that far removed from Florida that people are like, what? Floridians? We didn't even know how you, like, they're the next state up.
True.
Right.
So,
right.
Sure.
And
So
you
true.
can easily have that house divided, argument with Walker of like, oh, I'm a Florida fan, so they're gonna win, type of thing.
We did tell her she had to bring like a Florida segment to her show with all the crazy.
Oh yeah, the silly stories in Florida.
Or what are they called? They called the Florida Mans, right?
Yeah.
Florida crazy.
Well, the most recent one is the one at UF where the Gators, some Gator ate a shoe and they did surgery. Oh, it was a croc. It wasn't a Gator. Did surgery on this crocodile to get the shoe out of its stomach.
Eat a croc?
That's why I thought it was a joke. I was like, wait a minute, where's this going? A Gator ate a croc? I mean, come on.
No, but the weird thing was it was a croc in Florida. It was like, how did they get it here, first of all?
That we did talk about that. It was at one of their zoos. It was like a gator type of
Yeah.
How did it eat a shoe then? Did somebody throw it in or
fell off?
Okay.
Well, and what we're all talking about, is that there was a story earlier of a crocodile in St. Augustine. So St. Augustine is here in Florida. Y'all, a crocodile being in the actual waters would be a big issue, but this one was actually at a zoo. So.
Well, that's why you were worried, and you got me worried.
I was like,
yo, crocodile in Florida? That's not normal.
The world is ending.
So, because from what I'm to understand, so alligators would rather you fall into the water, stop flopping around, you die, and you get nasty, and then they want to come eat you, right? Crocodiles, like, they hear something in the water and they're going because they want you. And so that's why I said there's a difference. Hey, okay, so I want to take this moment right now during the podcast and during this stream, because we are on YouTube, we're on Facebook. This is also on Instagram, and it's a podcast. But can we send some love to those of you who are chatting to us right now? Tracy, Darla, Wesley, Jane.
Is that
Rhonda,
Tracy who calls in with
Jane?
us on the show too?
Let me see.
I love it.
I think it is.
Tracy, if it is, it's nice to see you on here.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Good to see your nice
always
little
has good
photo.
stuff.
Well, and this is great for radio too, because we're not used to getting able to see our listeners unless we have our live shows, unless we have our concerts and our events, and we haven't had that. So this has been very beneficial to us. Hey, I wanted to move to something else on this list, because morning show producer Chloe is going to be moving. Can we talk about each of our moves? Okay, the type of moves that we had to make to get to coming over here. So Ashley, I know that you've made a couple moves from Jacksonville, then from Jacksonville to here.
Yeah, I started in radio in 2009 in Jacksonville with the company we're at, and then I moved to Orlando, and really I moved to Orlando for an ex, so it had nothing to do with radio, and that didn't work. But I started with this company, and I literally took every single job I possibly could within the building before I got K92.3. So I used to do ESPN Sports Centers, I used to do Power 95.3 on Saturdays. Then I would drive to Tampa, and I was on our Cox Media Group station, Hot 101.5 there from 7 to midnight. And then you'd basically take every shift you can. But we all started for the most part as interns, worked in promotion, setting up the tents at the events that you saw. So it's cool because you get to dabble in all these different formats. And that's what you kind of have to do these days, is really, get your feet wet. And I mean, obviously I loved country music, and this was my goal to get over here. And they were making changes at the time, but that's kind of my story.
Okay, Melissa, you didn't have to move far.
No, I moved from Castleberry to Volusia County, and then that's where I've been. No, I lived in Georgia though, till I was 6, and then I moved here, and then I lived in the same house until I moved to my house I'm in now, and that's my moves.
But you have a unique story when it comes to you've
listening to growing up
listening to the station.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I which we've talked about before. I've listened to K92.3 since I was in 4th grade, and crazy. I remember all of the morning shows. I remember all the changes that happened, and I've even said my very first day on the job, I was in an all-star jam, and I was more excited to meet AJ and Ashley than I was to meet Chase Rice and Big and Rich. I was like, can I walk up and say hi to them?
Okay, wait. Before we even move on to that, can I just say that's weird to me still. And it's not weird that you guys want to meet us. It's weird because I don't think of myself that way, and this is being totally transparent. They tell us you guys are on the radio. You need to own it. You need to, realize that you guys are local celebrities. And every time they tell us that, I'm like, whatever. I just don't, I appreciate and always want to meet you guys, but I don't ever see myself as being in that light.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think you can tell. You can tell from some of the staff. You can tell from other people that you meet who they're thirsty for the limelight.
Oh my
man.
gosh!
They are
and
thirsty
I will never forget this little girl coming up to me at House of Blues asking for my autograph. I was like, what is life?
For real.
What is this? So I completely get it.
Well, Obi, share your story, how you went. Yeah.
My story. So I started radio in high school. I was a junior, and I went up to a radio station, and I basically banged on the doors, and I said, listen, I think that this is so cool. There was a morning show that I listened to at the time, MJ, who's a legend. And anyways, they told me that I was too young, that I would have to go back to school, talk to my guidance counselor. If we could work something out there, then they would work with me. And so I went right back to school. I got with my guidance counselor, and I said, the station's saying this, what can we do? And so they signed me up for an on-the-job training class at school, which allowed me to leave and go to high school. But then I turned 18, and I wanted to become a Backstreet Boy. And this is... And here in Central Florida, for those of you who are listening from around the world, and, whether it's the podcast or you're watching on the stream, Orlando was the hotspot. This was where Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Mandy Moore, Jessica Simpson, Backstreet Boys, of course, NSYNC, all those guys. This is where everything was starting. And that's why I brought my butt down here.
So Obi, you actually did OJT and actually went to work? Because I know so many people who signed up for OJT and went home. So bad.
I did it, and it was awesome. And I got a station vehicle. So, I mean, I was coming to the school with a station vehicle.
That's
because
really cool.
Yeah, I'd have to work right after. It was really cool.
But there was something you just said, and now I can't remember what
you were talking about Mandy Moore and the Backstreet Boys and coming here because Orlando was the center.
Oh, because your high school background. Like when you, because we on the show talk about it, but if you don't get to listen to the morning show all the time, how you mention your musician part. And I always joke because I feel like nobody else knows about it. And I'm like, what do you mean musician?
Well, yeah, because I don't share it much. But so I play piano, I play drums, I sing. And so I got into a school of performing arts for that in Tampa. And that's so anyways, it made a lot of sense that that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a stage performer and come out here and be a Backstreet Boy. But radio has always been, there's something that you can be so real about in radio that with every other, listen, even as an actor, you're doing a fantastic job playing somebody else. In this gig, we get to be ourselves. And that's probably more beneficial than having to play a part. And so it's been really cool.
Where were you born, Obi?
Born in New York, raised in Tampa, Puerto Rican background, Puerto Rican descent.
Well, I'm just saying because Ashley was born in Florida and has lived here her whole life. I was born in Georgia, but moved here at 6. So I've pretty much been here my whole life. Chloe's born in Florida, lived here her whole life.
Yeah,
I'm just curious.
And I was raised in Florida since 5. So even though I was born in New York,
same thing. Yeah.
It's funny that Tracy said it's weird none of us have accents. So Tracy, my parents are from Detroit, the Detroit area in Michigan, and there's probably a handful of times that people have said that I sound like sometimes that they pick up on a Michigan accent. I don't ever notice it, but I think it's people maybe from that area, and they'll ask me, "Where are you from?"
Same thing with me. My mom's from Kentucky, and so she still she's been there she was there a lot of her life. So she still has that twang. And when I'm with her too much or I'm with my grandma, like I can start hearing myself. I'm like, oh, okay, that's getting real thick. Like real thick. When you're around accent.
Matt, my husband says that happens when he talks to people with a real Southern accent because I hear him start to do it and I'm like, stop.
Yeah,
you're not one of them.
No, Slater,
I feel like he wants to have an accent.
Yeah. Slater has said that with his Boston family, that when he talks to them on the phone, essentially like right away, he can hear himself like getting that accent back that he took so long to like try and get rid of.
Right.
Yeah, I wish Slater was here to talk about that because he's probably out of all of us, Slater's probably done the most jumps from city to city.
We actually make fun of his Facebook because there's so many previous jobs on there from different states that he's moved to.
Yeah.
Well, and so a lot of times on radio, the way that it works is you've got Chloe here, right? So she started here in Orlando with K92.3, this frequency. She's moving up. Right. She's evolving and now she's going to be a full-time co-host. So she's got to go to another city to make that happen. And who knows from there? You know, Athens could be a headquarters for you from now on. Or, you know, who knows? Somebody.
Are you on Bumble yet there?
You want me to be honest?
That's a different conversation.
Do you see this? Calling me right out.
It sounds like the answer is yes.
Calling me right out. All right, well, because I am not going to lie and I'm 100% transparent with you. Yes, I changed it already. I changed my location.
I've already got dates set up for that 15th, 16th, 17th.
Yep.
I don't think this is a bad conversation. However, what's funny is because Obi's the only guy in here right now and he's very much a father figure to Chloe. He does not like this conversation right now.
No, he doesn't.
Well, you need to have a focus, and I think your focus needs to be your career.
Sorry. Dad. Being a total dad.
Yeah, because some dude's going to walk into your life, and then all of a sudden he's going to stop your progress.
Okay, all right, fair.
Hey,
but
no,
I mean,
no.
I'm 24. I'll be 25.
Yes, she's also, I think, good enough when it comes to her responsibilities that she can juggle all of it.
Well, and I don't want to have offended anybody with what I just said. Okay, not that love. But hold on.
You're being a dad. I mean, think you have 2 girls. You're just being a dad.
Let's be honest.
Oh gosh, those poor girls. When they have a boyfriend.
I know.
He's gonna be like, no.
What's gonna be?
You are 21. You've got stuff you've got to do in life.
What's gonna be their dating scenarios though in 10 years? Is Bumble still going to be a thing?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Virtual, it's
Hinge,
holographs.
Whatever all those.
I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like in the future. But I'm glad that we are in careers that it's our job to stay up with stuff like this. Like I wouldn't know what Bumble is if I wasn't involved in this.
I don't even know which way you swipe on Tinder.
Oh, you swipe right if you like them. Swipe right, swipe left if you don't want to match. But you swipe right. But I'm funny you say up dad mode because my dad on Valentine's Day, my parents drove up. They came and saw me. And my dad wore this shirt out in public, and I get so embarrassed when he does it. It's red, and he had like these red, it was all red. So he was standing out like a sore thumb, and it said dads against daughters dating. And he's walking around with me, and I'm like, Dad, this is embarrassing.
But that's funny, because you know what? The guy you date hopefully has that kind of sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Totally.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, so my dad sat down with my husband and said something like, what are your intentions on our like 3rd date? And to this day, it's been 11 years, and he still is like, "Oh, what are your intentions?" to my dad. And so, like, he calls him out. I mean, it obviously didn't happen right away, but no, you'll find somebody that matches your dad, like the exact same humor level, and like
you know what's
fine.
weird? Totally. Now that you say that, and I never ever saw it. We were at our menu tasting for our wedding, and my wedding planner had seen Matt and my dad sitting next to each other because we were all at the table, and she goes, "You're marrying your father." And I was like, what?
It
She goes,
happens.
oh, he's exactly like your father. And I was like, no one's ever said that before. But so it's interesting because you always hear that you look for a guy or whatever, that has qualities like your dad or whatever. So Obi's daughters.
Well, and I didn't say that to be disrespectful to anybody who thinks that, your partner definitely contributes to your life, right? They do. But to me, in my head, I think of, there's only so many things that can block your trajectory towards your dreams, right? One of them, kids. Yeah. Having kids when it's not in the time frame, that'll definitely slow you down. And then a partner, falling in love with somebody. I mean, obviously there's health too, but falling in love with somebody, it can definitely slow down the process and get you into a very comfortable mode. And
but that's where you put your priorities. Is family and love a top priority for you, and something that you can be like, you know what, I can still do my job, maybe not get where I want as fast, but I'll still get there, and I'll have all these people to celebrate with.
Now, I will say that, we're going personal here. When I moved to Orlando, it was for an ex who was starting law school here. I gave up my job in radio in Jacksonville to move here, and I had to start from scratch here. And then I ended things because I didn't feel like it was love and whatever. And that was the opportunity where I went, and I think I grew and developed the quickest in the industry and here in the building, and you're able to put 110% into it. And then the relationship comes, because don't get me wrong, I wanted to have kids and be married when I was 24. I'm 33, still without kids.
Well, so, and I was a completely different situation where I was married. I got married about 6 months after I got my first job here. So I got the job here in August. I was married in March. And so I've done all of this with my husband. Yeah. So it's just kind of everyone's got a different story of how things work out. And Chloe's is kind of similar to Ashley's, where she started single and was able to do all this, put all this time and effort in. And then we'll find, the relationship, like Ashley said, it'll come after.
What do you say? It's if I'm married, and yes, it's to radio all the time. Are you in a relationship?
Yep,
yes, with radio.
Now. You're in a relationship with this morning show.
Yep, absolutely.
That's ending on a good note.
Okay, so let's pivot. Typically, we like to time these things out, but today's kind of a little loosey-goosey. We wanted to really dive into Chloe's experience, and really, it's going to be an experience for all of us, as we're going to be gaining somebody new as we look for that person. But we were talking about what are they called?
Milestones.
Yes, milestone birthdays.
Tracy, I don't appreciate that.
What did Tracy say?
I'm almost over the hill. Oh, speaking of.
Hey, okay, so yes, that pivots directly into milestone birthdays. So do you guys still celebrate milestone birthdays? And right now we're looking at our chat. You right now listening via the podcast. You right now watching on the stream, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Do you still look forward to those milestone birthdays? Now, I know
forward and celebrating are two different things.
Well, okay, so yeah, I was going to say that there is a difference, because one, it's happening to you, right? So are you looking forward to the milestone birthday? And then number two, celebrating it. Like, some people don't want to celebrate the milestones.
I think you have to go personal here. Why for you? Because
for me, I'm turning 40 in April. Matt's man is turning 50 in when?
Matt's man. Ashley's man.
My man.
But
yes.
Ashley's man.
50.
You're turning
30.
Melissa's turning 30. Okay, so here in this storyline alone, you've got 3 milestone birthdays.
Yeah.
So
we were talking about it. Go finish your thought.
No, I was going to say I don't want to celebrate mine.
Why?
I just want a cool gift. That's it. But whatever money you're going to spend on some over the hill birthday with all these decorations and whatnot, just give me a cool gift.
Okay.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking to my wife. I'm talking to my wife.
Let me speak to Melissa's, because 30, I just experienced 3 years ago, right? And this is all relative to each person. Some people hate celebrating. Some people want to do it up big. I like to do things up big, even for other people's birthdays. I try, outside, like for Matt's, whatever. My 30th, I was so ready for. I was like, 30's the new 20. And I felt comfortable in my skin too, because and this is being completely humble, but you can look back on your life and be like, oh my gosh, look at everything I've accomplished, and I'm 30. And so I think you have to look at it that way and not dread it. And then the way you want to celebrate, Mm-hmm. I took out the hippie hopper on the beach with a bunch of my best friends. So it's all relative to you. And Melissa, I feel like you would want to do yours kind of big.
I mean, I'm doing it big. I don't technically want to turn 30, but it's going to happen whether I want it to happen or not. So I'm going to say, listen, I've experienced enough the last, few years to know that I'm lucky that I get to turn 30
Mhm.
and the people that are in my life, hopefully still here when I'm 30. And I want to celebrate with all of my friends and family, regardless of a pandemic. I'm going to do it as safely as possible.
Why don't you want to turn 30?
Just because it's another age. It's another year. It's just another. Oh, and like you, I'm kind of like similar with you where I wanted kids at 24. And obviously I'm about to be 30 and I'm not upset that it hasn't happened yet, but I'm also like, oh God, that's one more year gone.
Okay, understandable.
Well, I love it. Let's send some love out to Ryan. Ryan's going to be 30 as well. Teresa just turned 40 last Thursday.
Yep.
Oh, happy birthday.
I've got a bunch of people telling me that I should celebrate that milestone.
Yeah.
Well,
All
what
month.
do you do? What do you do for milestones?
I mean, I'm using it as an excuse that I can plan a birthday away. So I was like looking at cabins in Georgia, and it gives me more of the leverage to get my friends to be like, it's my 30th. Come on, you have to come.
heck
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, because it's like if it's my 27th or the 31st, they're just like, we'll
Very
go in
true.
4 years. Like we'll do
Yeah.
something then.
Dirty 30.
So it's more so of the leverage that I have of like, finally I can do something bigger and have a reason to do it. Like
Mhm.
there's more of an excuse.
Mhm.
And
Leverage
friend
is the
doesn't
wrong
come,
word because I don't
you're
want my
like,
friends coming at me being like, oh, so this is leverage because you're turning 30. No, I meant more of like a reason, you know?
All right. What are you going to do for Matt?
So I can't say it, but I told them off air, but I can't say it here. I want you all to know, but I have a feeling it'll get back to him somehow if I say it on here. But it is a trip somewhere that he's always wanted to go, but I don't think I can make it happen because
That's right.
of international travel rules right now. And his is 50. Like 50 is a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
hate to travel somewhere and get stuck there.
Yeah. Or book it right now. Like, because I feel like we were just down in Punta Gorda for a couple of his friends. One of them's fiance did throw him a surprise 50th birthday. He had no idea any of us were coming. And we all were talking about, well, what are you going to do for so-and-so's? His is coming up in April. What are you going to do for so-and-so's? His is in July. What about Matt's in October? So like a 50th, you do have to kind of plan out if you're doing something.
Oh no. When's is Matt? Is ours the same weekend? So therefore we're both going to be gone.
October 16th.
Okay, mine's the second. Mine's the second. We're good.
Oh, we just had Rita up here on the screen. She said, I cried when I turned 30. It seems so old.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now I'm 62 and celebrate every day of life.
I
Well,
wonder
and-
what changed.
Amen.
Well, I don't think I think what changed is she realizes that 30 wasn't that old, and that now at 62, she's realizing, okay, I might feel like this is older, but it's not because I thought that was old at 30 and it wasn't, you know, type of thing.
Yeah.
So you realize the older you get, like you're still young and still got so much life ahead of you.
Now wait a minute, Obi. So you say you don't want anything, but is that like a front? Is that like deep down
Valentine's
you
Day?
hope?
No. Anybody who knows me, like, for especially a big celebration like 40, like I know my wife's going to try to do something that's going to cost money. And to be honest, right now we adopted that baby. Lord knows we already have spending habits that keep us, right at bay. So I don't want to, I guess for selfish reasons. But I will say this, and I'll admit this, and this was probably the first time that I ever admit this to this audience. I will be spending on my medical card
Oh,
for my birthday.
we talked about it on the air.
That's
right?
for sure.
Once.
We talked about it on New Year's, and I remember saying, I don't
What
know, can you
kind
say that on
of
the air?
strand is a birthday celebration strand?
Something that helps Obi go to sleep. Obi has
Oh.
problems going to sleep with him being a radio guy and being so energetic. Y'all, I go to bed at like 11.
Turn it to turn
So
off.
Obi's plans for his 40th is to go to sleep early.
Oh, I'm
Not
turning
what I was
old.
expecting.
I'm turning old.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think milestone birthdays, even non-milestone birthdays, you should celebrate. But like you were saying, it does get expensive. So you use those milestones to separate
Right.
the other ones, you
To
know?
separate.
Mhm.
put a
5
little
years until my
distance.
next big one.
Yeah.
For real.
Well, and would you guys consider the 5s milestones or just the 30, 40, 50?
Yeah, I don't think of the fives. Those
21
are
is a
like
milestone.
mid-marks.
That's an odd year.
Those
But
are
I
like
think it's
mid-marks.
something big comes with it. Like you're getting the legality to drink.
And 25, you can rent a car.
Oh,
yeah, they
big
always say that,
deal.
right?
It's a big deal.
I love this. Tracy says the older I get, the wiser I get. Looking forward to turning 60. There better be a huge birthday party. I'm sorry, I can't read. Even at 39.
Yeah. But isn't it the worst too? Don't you sometimes like when you're coming up on these big milestones and you're expecting someone to do like some surprise party and it doesn't happen?
That's why I
Frustrated.
plan it myself, because I won't give anyone the chance to not do something for me. If I plan everything,
Yeah.
then therefore no one even has the chance to plan
Yeah.
something, and therefore I'm not let down because
It's actually, I mean, it's true. My 30th, all my friends at that point had already been married and had like maybe one kid each. And I was like, I'm not putting this on them. If I leave it up to them, it's going to be last minute, understandable because they're busy.
Yeah.
And I kind of plan it for them. Like I plan my own party for them to come have fun at.
Right.
Well, and also no one knows you better than you. So if you know what you want to do, you know where you want to go, you know how you want to celebrate it, just might as well either do it or delegate other people that are like, hey, can you help me do this? And can I give you this responsibility? Can I give you know what I mean?
So true.
I love Heather Hoeft.
Hoft.
Hoeft. She just wrote, you celebrate 21, 25, and then 10s on all the other ones.
Okay.
You know, that last name, I do want to have a conversation in the future. Let one of these K Huddles be about our last names and their origins.
Oh.
Right? Where's that from? Hoeft.
Heather, can you type in the pronunciation?
Yeah.
Hoeft.
Oh, how
Rita
cool.
says 62 is a milestone. It's early Social Security
Oh,
and
that's
retirement.
hilarious.
Yeah.
I went to Vegas and saw Anne. We've been wondering where you are. Ann Martin's on here. We were talking about Ann the other day.
So Ann Martin, we normally see at all of our really great events. So whether it's
Yes.
Country Thunder, Runaway Country, All-Star Jam, we always get to see Ann. That's another great thing about this this stream, this podcast, this whole thing that we do on Thursdays. This gives us an opportunity to really get to talk to you guys. Sometimes y'all call and we're in the middle of the show and we've only got like 2 seconds before it's time for us to go back on the air. I shouldn't have said 2 seconds, 2 minutes. 2 seconds would be like, why did I even answer? Why did I even answer?
Heft, silent O.
Guys, I got it right. It was heft.
I like it. Yep.
Yeah. Heft.
My
Nice.
maiden name is also German, but we'll save that for another one, right? We'll save it.
Good. Okay. So
He's
Ann's
still
in Tampa.
Oh.
Well, good to see you on here.
Yeah.
Peter went skydiving at 47.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Peter.
Ashley and I have both done that. I would strongly, highly recommend if you can muster up the courage.
Nope.
Do it with somebody you love. You know what? I think that's what happened is that Erica and I were like still in the dating phase.
Yeah, that's when Matt and I did it.
Yeah.
That's what
See?
you things to impress the other person.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, when I finally get them, I'm never doing that again.
What about when the other person has already done it? Because Matt had already skydove once before that, and to him, he was kind of like, cool, like another time. And to me, I was like all excited, wanted to take all these pictures.
You got it. Go.
You know what?
Nothing.
Nothing. We're both trying to control the comments.
Who can pin him the fastest?
It's only because we care.
Yeah. When you were talking about earlier about live music and stuff, Melissa, right? Tomorrow night, are you going to be out at the barn?
I am. Yep.
Okay, so we we're staying in town. We were going to be out of town. So we're going to come pump up Melissa, who's going to intro Parmalee.
Wait, you guys are coming?
Well, I'm
not.
I was like, Obi's gonna be out past 10 o'clock.
I saw her eyes on the camera too. She was like,
no.
Oh my gosh.
I'll be rooting for you from the crowd as you intro Parmalee.
yeah, but we're back. We're back. And Melissa, I'm glad that you're hosting tomorrow because that's going to be a big day for the barn. That's going to be a big day for us and our listeners who have been dying for something. Of course, there have been other listeners who haven't wanted to go anywhere, and that's okay. That's where tonight we've got Luke Combs on the Facebook. You don't even have to leave your house.
And that's the cool one with that is it actually filmed an actual concert. So it's like back when before the world shut down, one of his last shows. Like it's a legit full stadium filled of people. Like it's gonna be a lot of energy.
Which you used to have to order on pay-per-view, you know?
What's
Pay-per-view, man. Remember that?
Wow.
Matt used it to order the fight.
Yeah, for boxing matches.
Yeah. Which is weird.
Well, good. All right. Okay. So, So why don't we bring the sucker to a wrap? I want to be very respectful to everybody's time. We're here at the 34-minute mark. Please don't forget to join us again tonight for Luke Combs. That's going to be on K92.3's Facebook. So if you're listening from around the world, K92.3's Facebook. And then tomorrow, if you are local, then you'll be able to partake in the Barnes concert with Parmalee. Melissa's going to be our host.
Yeah.
And then Sunday. Sunday.
Chris Jansen.
So if you're local as well, or if you're a tourist coming to join us, of course, we've got the great world-class theme park, SeaWorld, and they're putting on Chris Jansen full concert. We had him on the air today, and he's on our Unfiltered podcast. Chris Jansen, man, that was a good interview, like 25 minutes long. So if you want to hear it, it's on the Unfiltered.
All-Star Jam with his harmonica.
Oh yeah, we talked about
so
that. We were like how in that full interview too will be on the Unfiltered, right?
It already is.
Oh, it's up there
I
already.
already uploaded it.
Mhm.
Good. All right. So Jessica, love you. Teresa, Rita, Jessica. I said your name again. Joanna,
Rita.
Tracy, Ryan, Ann. Y'all are awesome.
Peter, Heather.
Hey,
Alicia.
and Darius Ruckers on the Opie and Ashley show in the morning.
Yes.
Don't miss that.
Yes,
Awesome.
Darius. Like you've never heard him before. I'll tell you what, we really are blessed with the way that these country artists get really comfortable on this show. On this show, they get so comfortable. So tomorrow, Darius Rucker. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
Love y'all. Let's put our hands in the middle here.
Obi, hold on. Let me put my hand. Wait, ready?
Lower.
Right there.
Lower.
Oh, wait.
That's okay. You're close.
There you go.
Oh, wait.
There you go.
Hold on. I got to do one in this camera.
There
and I'm
you
looking at
go.
Obi's camera.
There
There
you
we
go.
go.
All right. To peace, love, happiness, to y'all's future, your health, your families. Y'all, for real, I pray for your careers. Everybody out there who's watching right now, just know that this morning show, loving on you right
also
now.
this midday
okay?
show.
What time is it? Okay, you get it. Everybody here from K Nation, we love you. All right, 1,
All right.
2, 3, break.
Break.
See ya.
Bye.